Hello guys. Welcome to Law for You YouTube channel.
The information contained in this site is provided for informational purposes only, and should not be construed as legal advice on any subject matter. You should not act or refrain from acting on the basis of any content included in this site without seeking legal or other professional advice.
Let's discuss about the types of marriage and divorce in Sri Lanka.
Marriage Registration Ordinance.
It applies to Sinhalese who contracted marriage under the Marriage Registration Ordinance, Tamils including persons governed under the Teshavalami law, to persons who contracted marriage in a Christian church, to marriages between different laws, and to persons who governed by the general law. This is the most popular marriage contract type in Sri Lanka. Kandyan Marriage and Divorce Act, which applies to persons governed by Kandyan law.
Muslim Marriage and Divorce Act, which applies to Muslims in Sri Lanka.
In a nutshell, divorce should be managed by the respective law, which they adopted to contract the marriage. In this video we will be examining only the Marriage Registration Ordinance and applicability, as it's used vastly compared to other two marriage types. Going through a divorce can be tough.
Not knowing where to turn when it comes to divorce proceedings can make things even tougher.
So in this video we are going to discuss about the requirements to get a divorce in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka there are two main ways to separate from the marital partner. The first one is divorce,
and the other one is judicial separation.
Let's look at the divorce first. The grounds for divorce. First ground for the divorce is malicious desertion. According to the landmark case Silver v. Missinona, CJ held that a deliberate and unconscientious, definite, and final repudiation of the obligations of the marriage state. In order to repudiate the marriage obligation, there must be both an act and intention. For an example, wife has some prolonging abuse by the husband, so she decides to leave the matrimonial home with the intention of ending the matrimonial obligations.
Malicious desertion can happen in two ways.
First is where deserting spouse leaves the matrimonial home. Second would be constructively innocent spouse is compelled to leave the home permanently as a result of other spouse's faults. The second ground for divorce is adultery subsequent to marriage. In the landmark case of Pushpakumara vs. Mermaid, it was held that essential ingredient of the matrimonial offense or adultery is that it involves sexual intercourse with a person out of wedlock. Further, in a practical scenario, direct eyewitness evidence of sexual intercourse is very rare. It is a well-recognized principle of law that direct evidence of adultery is not necessary to prove adultery. It is well accepted that an inference of an act of adultery could be drawn from the circumstances of each case. For an example, husband left to office and he felt sick at office and come back to home. During that time he saw wife laying on the bed naked with her old boyfriend. So this incident has the potentiality to circumstanced as adultery. In this scenario, husband will be called as plaintiff,
and wife will be referred as defendant, and her old boyfriend will be referred as co-defendant.
If this case taken up in the court, there are few exceptions in bringing the co-defendant before the court. First one is, if the boyfriend not aware about the marriage of the defendant, and the second one is, boyfriend is a prostitute. So these are few exceptions for the co-defendant influence in bringing the boyfriend as co-defendant. Third and most unfortunate ground for divorce is incurable impotency, which exists prior or at the time of marriage, which leads to inability to have a sexual intercourse with the other spouse. Here the concern is impotency before or after the marriage. If the impotency caused after the marriage, it can't be considered as ground for divorce. We have concluded the ground for divorce. Let's look at another way to separate from the marital partner legally through a judicial arrangement called judicial separation. Judicial separation. It's another judicial arrangement under civil procedure court when a marriage has broken beyond repair and cohabitation is no longer possible. First is, cohabitation is dangerous and intolerable. Second is, defendant's conduct is unlawful and cruel. Third is, when sexual offenses are common on the part of defendant. After the application for judicial separation, decree of judicial separation may convert to a decree of divorce after completing of 2 years. But without the application for the judicial separation, after completion of 7 years, either party may apply for a divorce on the ground of separation for 7 years. Spouse who seeks divorce under judicial separation must also establish a matrimonial fault, which we discussed in the ground for divorce. such as adultery, malicious desertion, or incurable impotency of the other spouse. Let's make the summary clear. In order to get a marital separation, there are two main ways, first as divorce, and the second is judicial separation. Under the divorce, there are three grounds for divorce. First is malicious desertion, and the second one is adultery subsequent to marriage, and the third is incurable impotency. Under judicial separation, cohabitation is dangerous and intolerable. Defendant conduct is unlawful and cruel. Sexual offenses are common on the part of defendant. If you come across any of these issues with your partner, immediately seek the advice of the attorney in your town. Thanks for watching this video. Please share this video as it's helpful for someone who really suffering from any of these legal issues, and don't forget to click the subscribe button and click the bell button to get instant updates.